The road ends here for the Alabama Crimson Tide. The greatest postseason run in Crimson Tide men's basketball history ends in the 2024 Final Four, 86-72 by the way of the reigning national champion. Simon, coming into this game, we felt that a few things had to go the Tide's way. They had to get off to a hot start. Not bad. They had to hit some threes. They did that. They also had to get some presence from their posts. They didn't tonight.
They didn't, and it was unfortunate because there was an early stretch when the big men, Nick Pringle, Grant Nelson, and Jaron Stevenson looked the part defensively against UConn's Donovan Clingan, specifically the first time that Clingan was off the floor as well. They were able to maximize their opportunities in the interior, but every single other time when Clingan stepped off the floor, Alabama was never able to get back into the game, meaning they had to fight just twice as hard with Clingan on the floor as well.
And then UConn pulls away.
I mean, the closeout effort says all you need to look at. It was 3 of their last 8 shots. That was all they were able to make. 0 for 5 from 3 in the final 6 minutes of this contest. They numerically were in this game with 8.5 minutes to play. They just could not get the shots to fall from deep to ensure that they were only 1 possession down, 2 possessions away, 1 brief run. UConn was in firm control of this game, even though Alabama had that chance.
You know, I close my eyes and I think just when we were standing a year ago outside the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, we said, where does the Tide go from here? Now I say again, Simon, they made it to the Final Four. Where does Alabama go from here?
They're going to have to pay Grant Nelson some good NIL money. No, seriously, Greg Byrne told me after the game, NIL is our focus. I asked him, where do we go from here? I asked him, what's the next big project? Is it focusing on the renovations to Coleman Coliseum, maybe building a new arena? He again answered with NIL, because we're in the era of this sport where if you can pay for the right players and you know who to buy, you're going to get a good roster. And so with Grant Nelson having a year of eligibility remaining, with Mark Sears having a year of eligibility remaining, they know what works with this lineup, and it's very easy to address that by ensuring that your 2 best players remain on this roster.
25 wins and a trip to the national semifinals, something Alabama fans could have really only dreamed about a few years ago. What does that say about head coach Nate Oates, who they now have locked up for quite a few years to come?
I mean, he's one of the brightest coaches in this sport, offensively minded, analytically driven. He's formulaic in his approach, and it's seasoned over a decade plus in this sport. And especially when basketball has proven to be the most profitable and realistically most sustainable profit form for a college athletics program, especially at the high major level, it's a pretty good time to be pretty good at men's basketball. And so they found the right coach who knows how to find the right players, and he's taken them to a place they've never been before. It only can continue to be this good if they support it as such.
Got to cover the Final Four. How awesome was it?
I mean, it's a fantastic experience. And to see the program where it's at, really taking strides to be among the elite. And getting here to this place, the historic nature of it, the historic nature of last year's season, the #1 overall seed, it's an incredible accomplishment, and they built off that. The groundwork has been laid by Avery Johnson into Nate Oates, and continuing to go forward, this basketball program is in the right place if the right things are done to continue its ascension. We're in a really good spot in the state of Alabama for college basketball.
Both Power 5 conference teams from the Yellowhammer State have now made it to the Final Four. Who will be the first to punch a ticket to the national championship? Who will be the first to win a national title? Well, we don't know. Those answers possibly coming in the next several years. All right, wrapping up Fox 54's coverage of the Final Four in State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. That's Simon Williams, and I'm Nick Kuzma, Fox 54 Sports.